Good evening. So, as promised, I'm going to be telling a ghost story this evening. I have decided to accompany it with a glass of wine in a sherry glass to convey my pretentious nature and to add atmosphere to the story. A story which is loosely, very loosely, set in the 1920s. As you can hear by the background music. So, I will stop the music, and if you are sitting comfortably, then I shall begin. Bang! And the music starts. Feet hit the ground, and bodies whirl around the ballroom. The rush of air catches you off guard as people's arms, legs, and glittering costumes shimmer around us. When you're in the middle of dancing, it's hard to focus on what's going on around you, but my eyes are drawn to the high ceiling that is adorned with lavish and ornate chandeliers. Too ornate for my taste, but at least we know where the city's money is going. Again, it's hard to see when you're moving a mile a minute, but there must be hundreds of people here. With the heat and the sound, it feels more like thousands. But I think with that many feet, I think we'd create a sinkhole into the subway below. I must say, I'm impressed with the band. The acoustics do lend themselves to brass, but even so there's nothing worse than being able to hear your feet louder than the music that you're dancing to. Their energetic performance fuels our feet, keeping us going as we twist and twirl between partners. I know that it's probably just dodgy wiring, but the lights occasionally flicker as if the electric atmosphere on the dance floor is powered by the mains. I did say it was hot in here, but I feel a shiver run down my spine. Must be a draft. Will someone shut that bloody door? A pompous voice bellows. The sound of shouting punctuates the mood in the room, enough for my attention to be drawn to the side of the hall, which is lined by columns. I can't decide whether the men leaning against them are suave and sophisticated or just plain old narcissists. There's that look of, I don't want to break a sweat, but I want people to know that I'm here. Alongside them are a few others who appear to be taking a break from the dancing, which I suppose explains why the dance floor is a little more spacious now. Nonetheless, there are definitely still hundreds of people dancing, or maybe 200. It's quite hard to tell, as I say. One thing about our numbers thinning out that I'm much more able to appreciate is the skill that people are putting into their moves. I've never seen feet swivel so fast. There's one dancer I keep seeing move past me who is clearly very experienced. Well, when I say see, I don't see him. I sense he's there, but he moves so quickly I'm not able to see him. I'm aware of his presence. Actually, he slightly unnerves me. I don't know about you, but I don't like not seeing who or what is behind me. The great thing about a dance is that you can always twirl or turn to view the whole room. It's artistic paranoia, if you like. But how can you do that if what's behind you keeps moving? He seems to have moved across the dance floor as I no longer sense him. Actually, how on earth do I know he's a he? I don't know. I've not heard them speak or seen them. My pondering has distracted me, and I'm sure there are fewer people on the dance floor than when I last noticed. It's not late, is it? It's a lot cooler than it was earlier too. I'd be relieved by this fact. Dancing is hot work. But I'm perplexed. I'd have thought that since so many have paused dancing, there would be many more standing along the colonnade, near where the narcissists are. Where have they gone? There are actually fewer people in the wings than before. I've thought about asking one of my fellow dancers why, but the music is so loud, and starting to be a bit repetitive, that I'm not sure they'd even hear me. Actually, there's something else. I don't recall seeing anyone leave the dance floor. There's only one person, who who I've been aware of arriving and leaving, and I haven't actually seen them, only sensed them. I sound ridiculous. Sensed them? I'm sure I just haven't been paying attention. I should stop worrying. I'm always like this. There always has to be some sinister component to everything, or else it's all a conspiracy. Maybe I should take a break, see where everyone else has gone. There may be as little as 50 remaining now. No, I'll stay here. I've committed to this dance and I don't intend to leave until the end. I'm enjoying myself, really. And others seem to be having a good time. Well, those that are left don't seem tired anyway. Then there's that electric atmosphere again, and the chill in the air seems to have dissipated. The band is still rather repetitive though, perhaps more so than before. It feels like they only know a few songs. It makes it easier to get into the right rhythm mind, and I feel a lot calmer than I did before when I sensed that other dancer behind me. The light from the chandelier seems warmer, and the columns, floor, and ornaments have taken on a sort of soft glow. The dance is fast, and yet all around me is a strange, peaceful atmosphere. A lull. Like something is wrong. Why did I think that? Damn it, now my mind is on that other dancer again. Who are they? Why can't I see them? I need to know. Now they're back. I know they're there. Something is just so wrong about them. I can feel their cold glare. No, his cold glare. I know him. Who is he? And how do I know him? Somehow, the warm light cast by the chandeliers, one that was so comforting but moments ago, now fills me with fear and suspicion. Every shadow cast, every flicker of light, it could be him. I know him. Why? The music has picked up in pace, I'm sure of it now. The band are playing the same piece on a loop, or not even the same piece, but the same part of the same piece. At first I thought it was just generic jazz, but it is something weirder and more sinister. What is happening? I'm also conscious of how few people remain. Now we're down to 20. It's a lot easier to count how many of us there are. What's more, there are no others standing by the columns at the side. It's really rather hard to see beyond the columns. It's all shadows and little else, where before people and elaborate costumes bustled and squeezed past one another. This darkness beyond the dance floor is not helping my deep feeling of unease. I try to catch a glimpse of the faces of the remaining dancers, but it's difficult with the speed of the music that compels us to move so quickly. Then suddenly I see something which chills me, brings on a wave of cold dread over my being. I do indeed catch a glimpse, a brief view of the face of a fellow dancer. Her smile is fixed, outwardly buoyant. But the eyes, her eyes, so much dread. I think she sees me briefly, as her eyes dart towards mine, just for a moment. Is that warning, or just pure fear? I never saw her dance partner's face, only hers. I wonder what his face says. God, there are perhaps only 5 others in the dance floor now. We're constantly passing through shadows, as it's so much darker. The music is sounding less and less like music, and more just a repetitive phrase of instruments. It sounds punctuating and discordant. The space where the band should be is just one great shadow. Another thought has occurred to me. I could have stopped dancing at any time. Why have I not? I now reflect on all the opportunities I've had to leave. I've just stayed as if something or someone is willing me to. I need to get out. Just run and do it now. I know he's here. I can sense it, his glare, a kind of sneering malevolence. I feel weighed down by it. The oppressive atmosphere of short punctuating brass sounds, the swiftly moving shadows, the dizziness of the dance and the pounding dread is too much. I'm trying to get away. I just can't. I need to go. The pace is so fast and there is no one else on the dance floor. Just me. Alone. And him. He is here, staring at me. So if I'm alone, who is? No. This is all wrong. Who am I dancing with? Whose hands have I been holding this time? Whose hands won't let me leave? Sleep tight.